Well, I'm spending money whether they like it or not. Welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer and part 15 of this save managing Marseille. I think we'd better get into it straight away because there's quite a lot to talk about. Yes, we played a lot of games and I'm trying to get this Marseille save moved on a little bit. So as you can see there, we're not doing too badly. The red circle's obviously not great, and the one that's kind of important for the league position is that away game at Nice. Nice are one of those teams this season who are predicted to finish above us in the league. We are predicted to finish 4th. So Nice this season going great guns, and well, we suffered a 3-1 defeat at their place, and that wasn't great. It followed the Barcelona game. Now, the Barcelona game, if you remember last season, we got absolutely spanked 6-0. This season, they were winning 3-0. I went out with a low block, very defensive. I thought, right, let's try and keep that scoreline down. If we can get away with a 2 or 3-0 defeat, then, we're happy as Larry, aren't we? But we went 3-0 down, so I thought, you know what, let's just play our normal game. So I went to my number 1 tactic formation, and we scored 2 goals. I mean, who knows, if I'd have started like that, I don't think we'd have beaten him, but it was a very narrow loss, 3-2. And the one very pleasing shiny green dot in there is the Rennes game. And if you've been following this save from the beginning, Rennes have always been a thorn in our sides. We actually battered them 5-1 at home. So I think this team is getting better, and the game itself is recognising that. Champions League game after that, a 4-0 win against Salzburg. So quite a nice win in that one. But the Champions League campaign's not going great. Fenerbahce away from home. We were winning 1-0 in that, and right to the very end, and Fenerbahce got the equaliser. And of course, we're losing these 2.4 millions all of the time, which I can't overemphasise how important that is. But we're doing okay there. French Cup now, we're through to the 11th round. I'm not sure whether that's the quarter-final. No, it's the 11th round. We're playing SC Sete. So we're doing all right in the French Cup again. As you know, we're the holders of that. But a couple of games today, both in the Champions League. We've got a home game against Newcastle. That'll be a tough game. And an away game against Bayern Munich. And, I expect we're going to play our normal game in that one. I'm not going to go out defensive. We're going to play our normal game. And, we'll get beat. But let's hope we put up a decent fight. The Bordeaux game in between, I will play that off camera. We are in the middle of January now, so we're in the middle of the transfer window, and possibly 1 or 2 surprise sales. Conceição was wanted by a Saudi club, Al Fateh, and they were offering up to 30 million for him. And I thought, you know what, we're not playing with wingers this season. I have tried playing him inside in kind of the Eze position. Didn't really do that well, so we sold him. 30 million incoming. Very, very nice indeed. Ismail Assar again, probably another one that's a little bit surprising. When I've played him up front this season, he has banged the goals in for us. But he is going on 30, and I do want to freshen this team up. We didn't get an awful lot for him, but again, over to Saudi, and 5 million for him. And then Alip came to me and said, look, boss, getting no games at centre-half. Obviously, I've upgraded the centre-halves, quite a lot. And we got 14 million from Fenerbahce for him. So as you know, I've been asking the board till I'm blue in the face for more money, and they won't give it to me. So I've splashed the cash again, and we've gone to Southampton. We paid 40 million total out for this lad. Quite a lot of it is on the drip, but a 21-year-old English striker. He's coming as a 3.5 star with the potential to be 4.5, 5. As you can see, a very, very good player, and plenty of years in him. He's 21 years old, and he's got a transfer value now of 111 million. Although with the 50% discount, that probably equates to about 60 million. But still, quite a decent signing. And I've got 1 or 2 more irons in the fire. If they come off, they'll be absolutely amazing. Not going to speak about them yet. The one I will speak about, remember Simon Adingra? We had him on the left wing. He was on loan. We couldn't afford him. And he went back to his parent club. They wanted 40 million for him. His price just kept going up and up and up. So I just dismissed it and I thought, nah, we've got no chance of getting him. He came up on a free transfer. They let his contract run out. So does that mean he's not a great player? I'm not quite sure what the game's saying to me there, but actually, he's as quick as you... Well, we don't need to look at his stats. We know he's a good player. He played for us a season on loan. Again, you know, if we want to stick a winger on in a game, he can do that. He can play up front. So now, having struggled up front to, you know, for backups to Vitinha, we've now got 2 lads coming in who can do just that. So Vitinha will get a break. And the finances now, we have got a transfer budget of 10 million now. Obviously, we've made some sales. The wage budget is back under control and we have 80 million in the bank. But like I say, I do have 2 more irons in the fire for young kids. Oh, Adingra, by the way, doesn't come in until the 1st of July this year. So we don't get him straight away. But that's fine by me because I think the squad is okay. And if these 2 young kids come in as well, then, well, we're looking good. Okay, so the first game is a nice, easy peasy Champions League game against Newcastle. Well, it is at home. Hopefully, home advantage will... I don't know. I have no idea. Let's get stuck into the game, shall we? Okay, not ideal today. The African Cup of Nations is on and we also have injuries and suspensions. Vitinha is out today. He's reached his red card or yellow card limit. So we do get a chance to see Amayor up front. He's going to play as an advanced forward. But we are a bit depleted today and, well, these new signings can't come in quick enough, to be quite honest. I'm still very unsure about Urbig. I mean, let's just have a look at Urbig. So if we just go along the top here to history. Right, so he's made 12 appearances, 8 conceded, 6 clean sheets and an average rating of 7.07. So that tells me that maybe I'm concentrating on him too much and every time he makes a bit of a, well, not necessarily a howler, but maybe I am concentrating on too much because out of 12 games, he's had 8 clean sheets. 6 clean sheets, sorry. And he's conceded 8 goals. So that's not a bad average and obviously 7.07. The game is actually looking at him in a favourable way. So am I being a bit harsh on him? Maybe it's the match engine that's making him look bad. I don't know. But we are going to go with Urbig in goal. I mean, I've tried him in all kinds of positions as well. That's something else. Do we play him as a goalkeeper or as a sweeper keeper? I'm just going to play him as a goalkeeper. Back four, Merlin, Bitsiabu, Baidu and Holm. Silla is out injured today. Pukstas is the ball-winning midfield player. Banabi and Ketcher in front of him. Spurtsian and Eze are the 2 behind Amayor up front. And Eze is being absolutely brilliant for us this season. I think he's the top assist maker. He's scored goals. He has the highest average rating of the whole team. He's been absolutely brilliant. But we are going to need all of these players today to play on top of their game because this is not going to be easy. So I've just had a message there saying that I've only selected 7 substitutes from a possible 12. Obviously, like I say, African Cup of Nations, suspensions, injuries. We do need these new players. Hopefully, they're looking at contracts at the moment. We've agreed fees with them, so they're looking at contracts. Hopefully, they'll come in. They're only young kids, but they're kind of wonder kid class. And, well, they will be ours, unlike Griffiths, who is on loan and will be going back to Manchester City. Eze there with a corner. Bitsiabu back to him. Eze now slides the ball over. I mean, a goal here would be absolutely brilliant. Baidu, what can Baidu do with this? Baidu can put that in the back of the net, and we are 1-0 ahead against Newcastle. To be fair, I don't think Newcastle are doing that well. I'm not sure if they're below us in the Champions League table, so they're not doing that well, but most of the time I find this game doesn't really take that into consideration. It kind of looks at the teams and it's like Marseille here, Newcastle here. You know, they're a Premier League team, they're a good side, they've got plenty of money. It doesn't really look at leagues, which it should do. You know, it should look at the current situation. But we're doing well in this game, and 5 shots, 3 on target, I think I've just seen there. Newcastle have not started very brightly. But at this moment in time, dare I say it, it looks like going with our number 1 tactic, which is the attacking tactic, is the right way to go. Looped ball right into the box there. And one or two of these Newcastle players, I don't recognise the names of them. Recognise that his name, Gordon. So he's a good player, isn't he? But the XG is not great for either team at the moment. And I think I might actually go attacking. You know, let's put them under a bit of pressure. Let's try and keep the ball with the white shirt in their half. Put them under pressure, and the old adage is, you know, if they've not got the ball, they can't score, can they? But we do make a bit of a hash of that one. And Tonali there, he's hacked down. Gordon into the box, and Erbig there. And I'm not sure whether the referee will revisit that foul. Looked like a bit of a nasty one. It looks maybe like we've got away with that. So it's a corner to Newcastle. So that corner came to nothing. I don't know why they started showing that as a highlight. But anyway, we're down that left-hand side now. Merlin. And I always forget, really, Merlin, he's actually a winger. But he can play wing-back. So, you know, I always forget that he's very, very good down that side in an attacking vein. And that was just wide of the post from Eze. So we're just going to give them a pleased at half-time. And let's just have a look for any tiredness. We do have to be aware of tiredness. Spurzian looking quite tired. It's a bit of a problem. I tell you what we will do. We'll put Ketchter a bit further forward, and we'll bring the young kid Griffiths on. And maybe, oh, we can't. He's Obitsiabu. Have we got another centre half on the bench? Don't think we have we? That's a bit of a problem because Merlin is looking very tired. Okay, just one change at half time. So 60 minutes. We've had 15 minutes of the second half, and this is the first highlight in the second half. So not a great game for the fans, but at the moment we've got 2.4 million in the bank and another win under our belts. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference because we dropped far too many points in the Champions League. That's a really nice ball from Eze though. And Merlin there is struggling with his fitness. And as you see there, he struggled to get to that ball and gave it away. Merlin again, what's he going to do with this? Just play it off, Merlin. If you're too tired, just don't run. Just play the ball off. Home. Looped ball into the penalty area. Can we get a header? Yes, we can. And Ketchter. I've moved him forward a little bit, and he's got forward just enough to get his head on that ball. We're 2-0 ahead against Newcastle, and mark my words, this is a very, very, very good result. Depleted squad, and I didn't really expect us to get the points today, but Ketchter did a very nice job there of heading that ball into the back of the net for 2-0. Okay, 63 minutes. We have gone to our number 2 tactic now, so we're playing cautious with a low block, time wasting, all of that kind of malarkey. We've made changes now. Rodriguez, Saavedra, Sands have changed the formation. We've got 3 DMs on the pitch now. 2-0. We shouldn't give this away, but we're going to try and hold on to it now. So Newcastle definitely come back into this game. 10 shots, 6 on target. XG below 1 though. So hopefully it stays like that. Griffiths, little ball there to Sands. Griffiths now in the penalty area. Just rolls his foot over the ball. Saavedra out to home. Totally unmarked. Can he hit that one? Yes, he can. And it skims past the post. And we are going to get some Newcastle highlights now. About 20 minutes of the game to go. Rashford there now playing for Newcastle. Fires a free kick. Well wide. And that's where we want it to stay. Corner now, still floats this ball in, and we need to try and keep that ball out the back of the net. Whether we can. Erbig now needs to be, well, actually we've headed the ball out. Griffiths now, we've got players breaking. Puchtas to Rodriguez, fresh pair of legs. Ketchner, who scored that second goal, plays the ball forward, and our new striker there, just to be honest, I think he is quite tired. I don't really know his fitness levels. Obviously it's his first game for us. And Newcastle there, not quite sure. They're looking very tired as well. Erbig chips that ball over, and it comes back. Can we get that ball out? Yes, we can. Sands, and it's back with Newcastle again. So there's a little bit of buffoonery going on just outside the penalty area. White back to Shaw. Shaw, what can Shaw do with this? Ball over the top, and the ball's in the back of the net, and it is 2-1 in the 82nd minute. I mean, is the low block and playing cautiously, is that not working for us? Should we have carried on attacking? But unfortunately, Rashford does get, and Erbig again in the match engine just did not look convincing, did he? You know, near post there, should have had that covered. But we are going into 4 minutes of time added on. We don't need any more highlights now. And that is a very nice win against Newcastle. I mean, any wins against decent Premier League teams, well, and 2.4 million to boot. So let's give them a delighted. Still not sure about my goalkeeper. I don't know whether I need to be looking for a new one. So just looking at the league table there, one game to play. We are in 13th with 12 points. But as you can see there, this PL, we're through to the playoffs. So whatever happens against Bayern Munich, we will get through to the playoffs. So that's more money, which is very, very nice, and probably as much as I could expect from this Marseille team. Okay, I'm going to play the league game off camera now, and we will be coming back for that Bayern Munich game. Just had a quick look at the league again, and actually Bayern Munich are in the 8th spot. If we could beat Bayern Munich and get into the top 8, we actually avoid that playoff game and go into the next round. So can we do it? I don't know. It's doubtful against Bayern Munich, away from home. Very, very doubtful, but you never know. I mean, City, Dortmund, Juventus and Chelsea are all above us. So wins for any of those teams, and we won't get 8th anyway. We'll see you very shortly for the Bayern game. And with a nice 3-0 win against Bordeaux, we are actually sat in 2nd place now. 19 played, 46 points. As you would expect, Paris Saint-Germain on top, 2 points clear of us. But man of the match performance again from Eze. He created 2 goals and scored 1 himself. And the other goal scorers, Vitinha and Spurzian. So a very nice little warm-up for this really important game against Bayern Munich. And the 2 young kids that I said I was signing, they have actually joined us now. Augustine Ibrahim. And, well, he's probably going to play as... I mean, he can play on the wing if we need it. So next season, we've got a dinger on one side. We've got players who can play on the right as well if I decide to go back to wingers again. But I think he's probably going to take over from Eze, you know, in like the 75th minute. But he's coming as a 2-star, potential to be 4.5, 5. Got some very, very good stats. And I think he will develop into a very, very good player. And the other one is 20-year-old Javier Moran, Spanish defensive midfielder, deep-line playmaker. Looks a terrific prospect, this lad. It's coming as a 2.5 star with potential to be 4.5. So again, some very, very good potential there. And again, I think this lad he'll come on in fits and spurts, 70, 75th minute, get a bit of game time under his belt. And these players are hopefully going to be the future of the club. Okay, we do have a little bit of a problem now. Having sold Alip, the game is now throwing a centre-back injuries at me, which is what the game does. Like I say, curveballs, levels of difficulty. We've got Tarati back in goal, back 4 of Merlin, Bitsiabu, Balerdi, who is on a fitness today, so coming back off an injury, home at right wing back. The midfield 3, Bernardi, Ketchta and Puchtas. Spurzian and Eze playing just behind Vitinha, who's back from his suspension today. So like I say, we have already qualified for the next stage of the Champions League, which are playoff games. Oh, come on, Football Manager. That would have been one of the goals of the season. What a terrific strike that was. And it once again hits the frame of the goal. I'm sick of seeing the ball hit the frame of the goal. My word, does this need sorting out. Okay, Spezia now. I thought Spezia had picked that ball up then, but Davies far too quick for him. Can we keep this out the back of the net? Yes, we can. And Tarati makes a save, which for our goalkeepers, I think this season, and I don't know, I'm not sure. It's answers on a postcard really with my goalkeepers. I don't know whether we've been we've conceded a goal. I don't know whether it's because we've been so good going forward, taking pressure off the defence, that we've not really seen too much of the goalkeeper. When the goalkeepers had to make a save, then they look really poor. I don't think Tarati could have done anything about that one. I mean, he didn't stretch very well for it, but it was a long range screamer, and I mean, it looks like we're not really in this game, are we? An XG of 0.01. So we have another injury now. Spezia is injured. We can bring a direct replacement on for him, so Harriet does come on. And we do need to start getting a few more shots though. And if they were on target, that would be very nice. So we're going to give them an angry. Maybe that's a little bit harsh. But I'd like to get at least a point out of this game. A win and we might get in the top 8. I don't think that's going to happen because some games have already been played. But okay, half time. The young kid Griffiths can come on and we'll switch those two around. Merlin looking very tired, but there's very little I can do about that. I'm not quite sure what we can do about that. Okay, we go into second half, 1-0 down. 62 minutes, still only 1-0 down, so it's quite a slim lead that Bayern have got. I've gone to 2 up top now, so Amiori is going to partner Vitinha up top. I mean, when we use Sarr up there, it usually kind of did it was okay for us. So I've brought the young kid Moran on in midfield. Griffiths is moved as the DLP, and Sands has come on as the ball-winning midfield player. I mean, can one of these young kids in midfield get forward and bag as an equaliser? Let's hope so. So neither team really making a stamp on this game. I mean, Bayern Munich XG of 0.6, ours is 0.4, so neither team's really busting the gut in this game. We have had 5 shots now, just the one on target, and I mean, we have moved it down the table, but we're still in contention now. Well, we are into the next stage, and with this, Bayern moved into 7th position. But we come back to there's about 5 minutes left on the clock. We come back to a Bayern Munich highlight, and we need this to be nicking the ball off them and going up the other end. But, so Bayern Munich have hit the frame of the goal themselves now. I mean, that goal that we saw, that hitting the frame of the goal, if that had gone in, that would have been not only goal of the season, but it would have got us a point. I mean, I can't complain too much about that. Not many teams will go to Bayern Munich and they come away with like a 1-0 loss. Most teams will get spanked there. So I think I don't normally use satisfied, but we are going to say we're satisfied with that. And obviously we do need to move forward next season. We're trying to get this team to be better as the seasons go on and start competing better in the Champions League. I mean, after 8 games there, we've finished in 15th place, 12 points. We are actually 5 points outside of the automatic kind of 1 to 8 go automatically into they miss the playoffs, go into the next round basically. So we do have this playoff game. But when you look at the teams that are still in there, United, Chelsea, Juventus, Liverpool, Arsenal, there's some big teams in there, isn't there? Well, 2 wins and a loss in today's episode. 1 win in the Champions League, 1 win in the league. Obviously, we got beat against Bayern Munich. Personally, when I saw that at the beginning of the season, when I saw that the teams that we had to play, I expected that to be about a 4-0 thrashing. 1-0, we did okay, I think. So I'm not grumbling about that. Obviously, we do need to step it up for next season in the Champions League. Although we are still in this year's, we're not going to win it, are we? But, you know, another favourable result, because, of course, that loss against Bayern Munich, we've lost that 2.4 million. In fact, I don't even think we get anything for a defeat. So not great. But anyway, we have a couple of new young lads in. We have a new striker in. And we've got a Dingra coming back at the end of the season. So things are looking bright. But I do need to go away now. Do a bit of head scratching. Because I think we need a backup centre-back. I don't think we have enough. We'll see you next time.